Hello guys, today I'll be showing you how we can create a program like this in Tkinter. And this program we're going to set add icon and a frame here and buttons and text box where you can type text, and then you can also we are going to add a scroll bar so that you can scroll and see all the content of this file, and then you can open an extra file using this program, and then you can save a file using this program, and then you can exit. All these buttons are functional, so we are going to make them, and it's going to like ask you a question: are you sure about exiting? If you don't want to exit, no. And if you're sure about exiting, you just click on yes, and then the program will exit. Once I click yes, it will exit. So I'm going to like create a new environment where I'm going to teach you how I did this step by step. So without wasting much of our time, let's get started. First, I'm going to import all the modules I'm going to need in this tutorial. So first, import Tk. I imported Tkinter as Tk, and I'm going to import the file dialog that I'm going to use again. So import no, Tkinter, I think, Tkinter dot file dialog. Import ask open file name, ask open the save as file name, then from Tkinter I'm going to import message box. So that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use this to like show those open and save dialog box, and I'm going to use this for the message box that appears when you want to like exit your program. So then now I'm going to like set up my first frame or my window. So TK. Please, before you take this course, make sure you have a foundation in Python and you have a little knowledge on Tkinter. If you have not, I have already made a video on them. Please check out my channel where I did video on how to use Python and as well on Tkinter. Right. Let's equal to Tkinter. Right. That should be in capital letter TK. Then I'm going to set the title now. Title. The kind of novels these days, I don't know. Oh, root title, then the name of the title. Let's say simple or text editor. Simple text editor, and then I'm going to like add the image I'm going to use for the icon here. So by default, if this is the logo I'm going to use and it's saved in my image. So by default, if I run this program now, it's going to show me Tkinter logo, which I don't want. Let me like try it so that you'll see it. Hello. I believe with this we can run our first CLS, then editor. And you see, so I want to like change this Tkinter icon into my own icon. So let's do that now. And image logo. And then I'm going to say image level post k dot photo image, and then in the bracket there I'm going to specify the file I'm going to use for my photo image, which I'm going to say image. I've shown you the directory, so you can just put your own directory here, image slash or logo. I'm doing capital letter or small letter, just make it small letter, logo dot png. Make sure you add the extension name so that there won't be a problem. Then here I'm going to say root dot icon photo, and then in the bracket I'm going to say false, and this false will like deactivate the Tkinter icon, and then I'm going to add the icon I want to use now, which is my image logo. So the first false here deactivates the Tkinter logo and add mine or replace mine with the Tkinter logo. So that's what this code is going to do. when I save this now and run the program, you see that I already have my icon here and the window is set up already. So it's time to like add widgets to our empty window or empty frame. So the first widget I'm going to create is the test bus. So I'm going to say test bus, test edit. That's the name I want to give to my label. The test label I want to use. Sorry, the test widget I want to use. Then it's okay. This is all I need for the test widget. I have to like customize the widget so that it will be kind of awesome. I have to like change the background. By default the background is supposed to be white, but should in case and then the front cover just want to like make it kind of awesome. That's why I use purple. If you prefer black, you can use black for yours. And what else do I have to set here? I think that's it. And text edit dot grid. Then I'm going to say row equals to 0 and my column equals to, I'm going to add the frame in the first column, so I think I'm going to use 1 so that it will be in the so that my test bus will be in the second column, and then I have to like add what again, stick it to this so that it could stick, and then I'm going to stick it to north, west, south, and east. If you don't know how to do this, please watch on my channel. It will really help you a lot. And then save this. And let's see how our test bus is going to appear. And you see we already have our test bus. And then the font and everything is working. I think I will not customize the font. Let's set up the font. So here, I'm going to say font equal to, let's say, area, and then the size I'm going to use 14 so that it can be clear. Then I'll save my code again, clear my terminal. And then you can see everything is working fine now. So the next thing I'm going to do is to add my buttons on the frame. So I think I have to do it inside there as well, but it should be different. I'm going to see something like frame button. This is the frame. It's going to contain all the button. Then root is the parent. And what else do I have to set to yes, I need a relief so that it kind of make it look cool. I'm going to use the relief, and we have so many reliefs, but the one I'm going to use here is ridge. So you can use any particular relief like groove or ridges or something like that, but I like using, I think ridge is best match for this. So, and the border, I want the border to be 2, and I think I need a background for this too as well. The background, I want the background to be purple. I think that's all. And then I'm going to like add grid to it now, and frame buttons dot grid, and then the row is going to be equal to 0, and then the column I'm going to equal it to 0 because nothing is already there, and I'm still going to stick it to, so I'm going to use sticky, which is going to be equal to, this time I want it to be like east to west or something. East to west, so it will be on the right side. If you're using pack for this, I think you can just use side or left, and then fill, you can use fill X or fill X. Yes, no, this fill Y so that it will be vertical. But since I'm using grid, that's why I'm using this. This is another way to do it using grid. So I have to save this now. Let me see. But already know this is an empty frame, so nothing will show there. I think there's a message for me. The border equal to So I have to like, this frame is not defined. So I have to define my frame. Instead of just frame, I have to add tk. Well, in a case where you just import everything from Tkinter, you don't need all this. But I think this more the way that most people used to do it, and it's a kind of more professional. Let's go by it. So save it again. Let me try. And then we have it here, but nothing has appeared yet. This is an empty frame. Let's say tk frame. Cool. Now let me add my first button. I like giving space so that everything should be clear for me. So button, open. I'm going to set it to button tk dot button, and then parent this time is not going to be root again, but frame buttons, and then the text I want to be my button. I'll make the text open in capital letter. So, and then I have to set some other features. Let's say the background of this button to be purple, and then the font FG, the font color too, I want it to be white. I believe that is all I need now. Then button open.read. I'm going to add it in row 1, and then color equals to 1 as well. Then I'm going to use sticky to sticky, then east west, and I believe that is all. Yes, I'm going to like pad it so that it will have a space around it. So pad x, I'm going to pad it 5, and then pad y, I'm going to pad it same 5. So let me see if this is already in my environment. So as you can see, I have this already in my environment, but the color of my frame did not change. The color of this did not change, but every other thing is working fine now. I'm going to check this out. Frame buttons, tk frame. Right. Leave tk erased. Let's look at this border to BG purple. Something is wrong somewhere. This color should have been showing there. Let's say again, BG equal to purple. Let me just say black. Okay. Oh, it was me that made the mistake. Now I realize where my mistake was. I did the wrong sticky on it. So instead of me to like stick it to north and south, I just stick it to east and west, which is very wrong. So north, south, or south, north. And then save this now. I have to change the color that I changed to black. Black is going to be horrible for this. So I don't want to use black. Where is the black? Okay, here is the black. So I'm going to change it to purple. I'm going to save my work again. Then you see everything is working fine right now. So I'm going to add other buttons now. Let's say this button. I'm going to copy this so I can be a little bit faster. So I can choose it, copy it, then paste it here, then paste it here, because I'm going to need 3 buttons. I'm going to change this to save. I'm going to change this to exit, and here I'm going to use save or save as, something like that, because that's really what it needs to do. And then I'm going to use exit here, and I think the properties are similar. So now it's time for me to like add them. So I have to copy the grid and do the same for the rest. Well, here now I'm going to change this, the second one, to save, button save. So it should be lowercase, button save. And I'm going to change this to exit. And then I'm going to change the grid. This row 1. Why did I use row 1 for this? It should have been row 0 and column 0, because you know in math or in computer we start counting from 0. So this should be 1 and the column should be 0, 2, and here we have row 2 and the column should be 0, so that all of them will be in the same column but different rows. Once I save this now, I think the paddings are right. Once I save it and run my program, see that everything is set now as it should be. This is the padding I added so that it will be kind of look better, and every button is set. But the issue now is that all this button has no function, it does nothing. I'm going to like add some functions to it so that each time you click on open, you can open a file. Each time you click on save as, you can save a file, and so many of them. So I'm going to go to the top now, then left, open file, open file. Open file, and then I'm going to see file path, right, then file path is equals to as open file name, and then I have this, and then file types is equal to the types of files that I can open. Then I think they are going to be in a list, and inside the list we also have a tuple inside, which is a tuple list somehow. And then I'm going to say I need first one is test file, and then the test file is going to be the extension .txt as the extension for test file. So if you want to like add any type of file, or if you want to use it for any kind of file, you can just do this. I'm going to copy this because I'm going to do it for not just that type of file, but also for Python files too. I want to be able to like add Python files. I'm going to replace this now. This text to Python file, and then the extension is going to be .py. And after I've done this, then the last one I'm going to do all files. I think I have to add all files, not just this few, but everything. What? All files. Then I'm going to change it to like wherever there is a dot. This is what we are going to use. So like it's searching for wherever there, as far as there is a dot, it will bring all the whole file for you, so that you'll be able to like open any of the files you want to open. I believe this is fine now. So now let's continue. Then if not 5 parts, so if the file we want to open is not 5 parts, it's not the 5 part we just defined now, file not parts, and this is what we want to do. You return the program, so that the person should pick a file that is the same file type with those ones defined there. And then when you are going to open the file, before you open the file, you have to like delete the existing test files on the window or the environment there. I'm going to say test file, which I use test edit for, I believe. Okay, test edit, and then delete, and then open file. And if you are using like entry, you just have to like use one and where it ends. But in this case, we are not using entry, so we are going to start from where you just start from 0 and where it ends like tk dot. And but in this case, we are not using entry, so we are going to specify the row, which is row 1 and then column 0. This is how we do it using test widget. So it will delete the existing content in this edit environment, then it will start adding new one. Let's say with small letter, with open file, with open, and then path, 5 paths, sorry, we open 5 paths, and then the node, you want to open it. Okay. I want to read it, so the open is read, so we are going to use R and then alias this as impute file, and then I'm going to say test tst, or you can just use normal test equal to, it's just the name we want to give something, a variable here. We created a new variable test here, so we are going to equal it to impute file dot read. So this is going to read whatsoever file that we are going to open, and then after it's done reading, then test file is going to like drop it on the test file or paste it there. Dot insert. That's why we're going to use this insert. Then open bracket and row 1 column 0, and then what we want to add, which is this test right here. I believe with this everything should work fine now. So let me save this now, and then try to like call the file. What is the name of the file? Open file. Let me set it to the button, so that each time you click the button, it will just be idle, but it will have the function. So command is equal to, I'm going to pass the function now, open file, and then save this. So let me run it and see what we are going to get. We have this now. I will click open. I see that I have the open file that will open my file for me. If I click on any file, or let's say whatsoever, I'll click on any of the files, click open, and something happened. It's returning error. I have to check the error. What did the error say? Test is not defined. Test was not defined. So let me check what is happening there. Oh, I used test here, and remember what I'm inserting is this test. So that was what happened. So I have to rerun my program again. So open what, or let me open this one. Now you see, now we can open a file now. So the open file is working now. I'm just thinking. So let's see now what we are going to do. So there's something again I want to do. I want to like add the directory or the title bar, so that it will just be showing the title, but it will also be showing the directory. So I can do this. Into that. So where is my function? So I'll go back to the function, and then root dot title or simple test. I'm going to use format test. So simple test editor, and then I'm going to add the directory I want to use here, which is 5 paths. My 5 paths here. So once I save this now and I run my program again, you see what this will do. So each time I open a file, let's say I open dark something. What's up? Everywhere is dark now. and then you see the directory of the file will be displayed at the top there. You can see user desktop dark.txt. So that's what this last code did. So I'm going to like copy this code and paste it, and I'm going to use it for the save. I'm kind of lazy, but it will help us save time and save me the stress. So instead of open here, I'm going to change this to save file, and then file path is the thing, but we're going to change this open file to as save as file, right? I believe that's what it is. Save as file name. And then here is the same file type we are going to use, so we don't have to alter it. And if not file path, it will return, but we don't need to like clean the test editor or the environment again. So I'm going to remove this delete, and then with open file name, but we're going to still open this, but not in this mode again. This time we are writing because we are saving, and as not as input anymore, but as output file. And I believe I've already explained all this to you, so I believe you already know. If you don't know, go and you kind of repeat what we did earlier to like listen again so that you remember everything I said. And then this test file here, in this case, we have to like remove this one from here first. Let's let me call this, because what we want to do is we are not inserting, but in this case we are trying to like get what we have in the test box there. I'm going to use, instead of insert, I'm going to replace this insert with get, because we want to save them, we want to get it and save it somewhere. So test edit equals to get file -- and I'm going to paste the other part, but in this case it's not going to be sending it to input file, it's going to be sending it to output file. If I do this now, it will be a kind of, it's going to send it to output file, and then it's not going to read it, but it's going to write it in the output file, which I have to give this, set this to a variable. So I'm going to say tst. I have a tst there. What if I just remove it? Okay, I have to remove this so that I can have one tst file. And I believe this will not cause harm to my code. So tst now. I believe you understand what we did here. So in the other case now, we were like trying to like insert into it, but here we are trying to like get from our test edit, but here we are not getting, because we have to get everything. One thing about copying is when you are copying, you have to be very careful. Like here now, I have to copy everything from the first number to the end. That's why I'm going to use this end. So here we get everything from the beginning of the test editor, that is the test environment, the test widget, to the end. Then the output file which we have here, we are going to write this into the output file, which is the file we are trying to save, and this is what we are going to add to it, the output file, this test, which I have already set to this variable, and which you already know what it means, every content in the test widget. So let me see if this is going to work. Let's say open let me open this. I'm thinking, let's say I change this to, I'm thinking to just walking, something like that. This test is too big. Let me say I'm just walking, and then I'm going to use the save as now. Oh, we have not set it to the button. What is the name of the function? Save file. So let's go to the button there, then set it to command equals to save file. Save this, and without even opening the file, I can just write a new file. I don't just want to like, okay, this is, let me make the first letter capital first. This is awesome. If I want to save it, I'll click on the save, then it will show the dialog box. I'll just save it as awesome, and then on the same directory there, text file, or I can change it to Python file or all file. So whatever file I want to save it as, I can save it there. Then I'm going to click on save now. The file has been saved. I believe it has been saved. But let me check if it has been saved. You see there is no awesome here. That is to show that there is a mistake in what we just did. So let's go and check. Output file is not defined. Output file is not defined. Okay, that means we used the wrong output. We have output file, and then output file, that's right. Oh, sorry, I did not write output, I just write out file. I did not even see it. So this output file, and then this same output file is what we're using here, I believe. Let's save it again. And we run the code. So now this is awesome. Let me save this. Then until that's awesome. That's file. I can use whatever file you wish to use. Once I click on save, let's say awesome already exists, but I didn't want the awesome that is there, so I will receive it there. Why it's saying that is because we've already typed awesome there, but we did not use it because it did not finally save. There was an interruption. So let's open it now and see if it's saved. Let me change what we have here, like this. That's only this. So when you open awesome now, it will clear the environment and show awesome. Where did we save the awesome? We saved it to this PC or what? Let me write again. Great. Great, then save as. This time I have to make sure I select the desktop. Yeah. So select the desktop, and then the name I'll use great. That's fine. Great. This is directory. So let's try and open it again and see if it's going to work. Just have to leave only the T. Open. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. Something is wrong with our code. So let's see. Okay. Just edit.get. Everything 0 to 1. Output file is the same output file. Why is it not showing? Okay, let me just use output. I don't know what's wrong with this code now. So output of write. Then we have this variable test. So that's what I want to write. Okay. Code. Same test file, same desktop, save. Open. All files there. Oh. It's saving them as what file? Oh, it's saving them as any file. So there's something I should have done. I think I have to set a default file for it. So it has been trouble for me. So let's set a default file for it so that we don't just save them as random file. So should in case I did not specify the kind of file I want to save it as, it will save it for me. Let's say default extension. What is it even spell it? Extension. equal to, I think I should copy this. Any of the extension you want it to be the default extension, paste it there. Equal to test.txt, then 1. And let me check what will happen again. That was why I was like, oh, this is really oh, well, let's say amazing or great, something like that. I can't say negative. So let's say serious now, and then I'm going to say great again, or let me just say GGGGG and then save, and I believe it will save. So if I try to like open now, then here we have our GGG. Automatically to set it as what, as a test file for us by default. So it will not just put it there as test, or it has particular extension that it will attach to it. So once I open it, you see it will open. But I want all these things to like, I want to check it is going to clear everything. I've already done it before, so just check, open, see, it will clear everything and it will open the file for you. So I will leave open and see if it's working now. So the next thing, which is the last button we are going to work on, is the exit. I'm going to look for the exit button here. So yes, I can just say command equal to put root.quit. Let's pass this function. And then this root.quit is just like a system function that quits the program for me automatically. So once I click on exit, you see it will close it for me. But I want to like make it like awesome, like what I showed you, like when you want to quit it, to ask you, do you want to like, are you sure you want to save this work, or are you sure you want to, or something like that. So you want to create such message like that. Let me show you how to do something like that using message box. I can go at the top of my page, then def, message pop, and then I'm going to say message box dot as yes or no. There are so many. We have info, warning, something like that. So, but I think I prefer this yes or no. It's what relates with what I want. So here you're going to specify 2 parameters. First is what you want to show. I want it to be like a warning, and then the next part is the information I want it to show. I'm going to say, do you really want to exit? Do you really want to exit? Something like this. And then I'm going to save this. I believe this will work. So where's my button? I'm going to replace this quit now with the pop. Then I'm going to save this. Then if I click on exit now, it asks me, do you really want to exit? If I say yes, it's going to exit. If I say no, but this time it's not doing anything. It's just there. I'm going to like set it to like perform a particular function if anyone is clicked and another is clicked or something. So to do that, I first of all have to like check what they are returning. I'm going to say response. I'm setting this to a variable called response. So I want to like print the variable. Let me see what the variable is made up of. That's a print response, which we are just using here. So once I save this now and I run it, I click on do you want to exit? Look at it. First I'll click on yes, and then I'll do it again. Second I'll click on no. And let's see what it's going to print for us. It's not going to print it there, but it's going to print it here, which is in the terminal. This is the first one it printed was true, and then the second one it printed was false. So when you click yes, it's going to be true, and when you click no, it's going to be false. So yes, it's just like a boolean, or you can be 1 and 0, something like that. So I'm going to do something like this. I say if it's true or something like that. Or let me say if response is equal to 1, 1 is same as true, then root.quit. Wait, this time you're not passing it, but you're calling it. Then else. What do we want it to do? Nothing, so we're going to use pass here. So once I click on exit now, do you really want to exit? No. Then I can continue to type whatever I want to type. If I click on exit again, do you really want to exit? Yes. And you see that the program will exit. I believe you see how awesome all this is. Then the last thing I want to like add is, for let's say for example now, if we have all this code, copy, then we go to our program now, run our program, then we paste all this code. Then you see that we cannot navigate because there's no navigation bar. We cannot go down to like see what we have built. I'm going to like show you how to add a navigation bar here. So below my functions here, I'm going to add the scroll. I'm going to say our scroll bar or scroll equal to tk dot scroll. It has to be capital for scroll bar, and then root is the parent. I think that's all. So I have to like pack the scroll bar now. Scroll bar dot grid, sorry, because I'm using grid, so I can't pack unless I create another frame for it, which I don't want to. So grid, I'm going to say row, still going to be in the first row, which is 0, and then the column, I want it to be at the last column, and I think I've created a lot of columns. I'm going to like add a large number in the column, let's say like 5. I think I've not done any, I'm not adding any columns to that extent. Then I have to like add sticky to it again. Sticky, I'm going to make the sticky equal to not to be long, to north south, right, to be vertically straight on the side. But oh, sorry, I wrote TL instead of TK. And you can see we have scroll here, but it does nothing for now. If you scroll, it's just there, it's doing nothing there. So I want to show you how to like make it functional. To make it functional, first we have to go to this test and then add a comma, and then y scroll command. We are going to set a y scroll command into the name of this scroll, which is scroll bar dot set. We have to use this set like this, and then come under again so that we can make it right. We can configure our scroll bar. So I can say scroll bar dot config, and then the command is going to be equal to our test widget. Let's say even the name of our test widget again. Test edit, okay. Test edit dot y view, yes, y view, right. So save this now. Let me check whether it's going to work now. Now let's paste this, and I think it's perfectly working now. We are coming to an end, but the last thing I want to check is if this is very responsive to the extent that if you squeeze, let's say if you reduce the window, you see it is not responsive. The button will be out. So some of those things are not really responsive. I want to like make them responsive. I'm going to like configure the rows and the column. So root dot row configure. I'm going to say 0, because most of the rows are in 0, and then the weight will be equal to 1. That's why I'm going to configure my columns. You can do this for all the columns if you really want to configure all. I just want to let's say root dot configure column configure, sorry, and then in your bracket to specify this time I'm going to use column 1, But I think my test widget is in column 1. Yes, the test widget in the pack. Yes, column 1. And then the weight is going to be the same thing. The weight, I'm going to make it 1, 2. So once I save this now, I bring myself down. So I believe this is the final test of this code. Once I save it, control, I paste all the codes here now. See, I can scroll and the exit is working. You want to exit? No. So, and I think it's responsive now. If I reduce the window to like a smaller size, you see that the scroll bar too is reducing as well. So everything is perfectly working now. So I believe you learned a lot from this tutorial. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel because, like as I said in my last video, I'll be uploading things possibly every week.